Memory is the cognitive process of encoding, storing, and retrieving information. That encoding means interpreting what you hear. How do you interpret it in your brain? How do you give it meaning? Because you can actually hear some things and it will not have any meaning. You keep asking, what does this mean? What is she talking about? But if you have the ability to encode, bring it here. Bring your phone here. I forgot. Can you want me? Come and plug it here. Bring it here. Don't worry, sit down. We plug it for you. Now, oxygen pariwo. I think I said memory is the cognitive process of encoding, storing, and retrieving information. Mr. Lighter, can you put it in one? Storing information and experiences. Storing information and experiences. Now, what do we mean by this? Have you ever encountered somebody taking you somewhere and after many years, 10, 15 years, you went there and something is telling you, I've been to this place before. I've seen this place before. I don't know when, but I think I have this picture. I've seen this place. That is experience. That the former experience. And to a lot of people who we now say they are suffering trauma, is their experience. Is their experience. They've had an experience somewhere that keeps coming back into their subconscious, to keep coming back to say, I know the case of a lady who was raped when she was young. Some boys cornered her somewhere and they raped her. After many years, she got married. Since that incident, she had never had an intercourse with a man. In fact, it took a lot of therapy, prayer, and so many things before she eventually agreed to marry. Because that experience made her feel that all men are bad. She eventually got married. She loved the guy. They didn't have any intercourse during their courtship. After their wedding, the first time the husband tried to have sex with her, it was war. The second time the man attempted it, the same problem. After about 2 or 3 months, the husband has to speak out. He has to speak out to pastors and the people that can counsel them that he doesn't think this marriage will go on moving forward, because he doesn't know how they will marry. Every other thing she's doing perfectly. He does not hate her. Every other thing she's doing well. But the moment it comes to intercourse, she will become like a tiger. And when they ask her why, she said anytime he wants to have sex with her and she's looking at him on top of her, the memory of that rape comes back. And what she just feels is like, they want to do that thing to me again. This was so serious that she had to go to the psychiatric hospital. They had to refer her to a psychiatric doctor. It is still the husband, because he loves her. They have to take her for a lot of therapy, a lot of persuasion, a lot of encouragement, a lot of watching different films for her to now finally settle down in that marriage. That is the negative side of experience. There are also beautiful sides of experience. There are also beautiful sides of experience. You visit a country, you travel somewhere, you see beautiful places. I went to train some teachers in Benin about 3 years ago, 3 to 4 years ago. In the night, the school owner, my host, she lodged me in an hotel. So in the night, she came to pick me and said she wants to take me around the city, and so that I will have some fun and understand how that city is. She took me to somewhere that is a suya spot. I've never forgotten that suya spot till now. In fact, I wish to see something like that in Lagos. No, that is what they call suya, not what we are eating here. All manner of meat, chicken, guinea fowl, beef, well prepared. In fact, all the things they put in it, after cutting it, all the things they use to garnish it, cabbage, onions, tomatoes, so many things, sauce that they put in it. I'm a Lagosian, and I make bold to say, oh, Lagos has the best experience, but that one, I'm not saying it's not in Lagos, but I'm here to see. Do you understand? That's also an experience. It's not a single thing in one brain or location, but a complex dynamic system involving multiple interconnected brain regions. There are a lot of things that is connected in our brain that makes memory work. And the brain have different parts. There is the prefrontal cortex, there is the cerebellum, there is the hippocampus, there is the amygdala, there is the cortisol area. So there are different areas of the brain. But one thing is, if one of those areas has a problem, every other place might have a problem. Now, I always like to use what is close to me, what I've seen, what I know as example. One of the examples I have is my mother. Now, my mother has dementia. Before my mother has dementia, I've been hearing of dementia, but I've not seen it in its true form, how it manifests, how it can go from one stage to another, and finally lead to the exit of the person. That person had to live with it for the rest of her life. Now, one of the things I've seen with makes it what will I say? Makes it a bit overwhelming and at the same time interesting to me is that for a very long time, I can say for me, because of my age, that I have started viewing it from my mother. I can say for like my mother is 89. I can say for like about 30 or 35 years ago, or let me just say 40 years ago. One thing I know with my mother is, if my mother starts a story, she calls you, or you are together, you are discussing, and she starts a story. Maybe she wants to talk about a friend somewhere when they went out one year and what happened. If my mother starts this story, she will never finish it. She will never finish it. She can say the story to a spot, and she will just digress to another thing. It is now that I realize that those things she was doing then was an early onset of dementia. Dementia was already coming in then. But I don't know, and we didn't know. Another thing is, my mother can keep something and she will never remember where she keeps it again. This thing, at the time, brought serious problem into our family. Because everybody around her became a thief. She will insist that this is where she kept it. There was a time we had to remove the roof of this house because we had a fire incident. So we had to remove the roof and roof it again. So my sisters heard about the fire incident and then they had to intervene quickly, so that because we had to pack out and go and rent a flat before we repair this place and come back. My sister sent her some money. Then it was still very easy for you to give somebody dollars from abroad and they will give you. So they gave that dollars to somebody that was coming for her to exchange and use it for what she wants to do. And I think she has some amount of naira in her account that is enough for her to use. So she didn't want to change the dollars. She was waiting for it to the rice before. Long story short, she put these dollars inside a nylon. You know this small money nylon? With the envelope they brought it with. She put it inside that nylon we used to do more money, that pure water nylon. She tied it and put it under the carpet, under her bed. There's carpet in her room, then there's tiles, then there was carpet. So she put it under that carpet, the one that goes under her bed. And my mother forgot where she put the money. And she got to a stage where the work they are doing, she need to take, the money she had was not enough again. She need to take part of the dollar to go and exchange. That was when problem came. This thing I'm talking to you about is not funny. I almost lost my first son because of this thing. Because she said, she insisted I was the one she suspected. My son was, I think he was in ND2 in the Polytechnic. My son did not come home for a year. Every holiday, he refused to come for a whole year because of that incident. Anytime I call him, I say, are you not going to come? He said, I don't want to come to your house before they will call me a thief. Now, after about 6 months, this thing was a big problem that I'm talking to you about. That I had to go out myself and go and verify my son. Because I can't believe that I will take $4,000 to do what? After about 6 months, they finished the building and then she packed back. She had one small maid, one small girl. I can't forget. It's that incident that can't make me to forget that girl. She's about 10 to 12 years. Her name is Maloto. That day she poured water. She spilled water in her room. She wanted to do something, then water fell. We have all forgotten about these things because the sisters have intervened and they said everybody should please forget about it. So that girl had to clean. In the process of that girl cleaning that water, she had to shift the bed because the thing went under her bed and raise the carpet and clean under. She was the one even instructing her that she should clean under the carpet because it was that girl that brought out that line. She brought out that nylon, and I think I was the one there. Maybe she was downstairs or something. Mommy, I didn't even know what it was until I opened it. I saw the dollars. I wept like a baby. I cried because this thing has caused so much pain. People who are not even supposed to hear about it have heard about it. My mother was shouting. She will go to Babalawo and find out. She will go to Sele and find out. She's going to do something to the person that take it. So thunder will kill them. This one, all manner of things that should not be said. Because of early onset of dementia. A lot of people have had this that I've explained simply, and it has destroyed homes. Because the last thing we think about as Nigerians is health. When things are happening to us as Nigerians, it's in our habit. We don't, it doesn't come to us that, can this person be having a health problem? Can this be a brain problem? Even if you say it, you see people like, Vicky, please come. Go and look for Mr. Lighton. You should be in his class. So what am I saying? Memory and lack of information. This I'm talking about has destroyed marriages. I've read stories that's not even related to me that has caused a strain in families, that has broken homes, that has turned children against their parents. All because of lack of information. That's why I said, Madam, come here. That's why I said, throughout today, I'm going to be engaging you because these are serious parts of your training you should have. It is not only going to be relevant for you as an educator. It is even going to be relevant for you in your personal life and your dealings with people. The information you'll be hearing today will make you to have the ability to reason in different perspectives. To look at people when they are doing some things and relay the information you have had and say, I don't think this person is all right. Because in actual fact, if somebody is not all right in terms of the brain, if somebody is not all right, you'll be wasting your time. You'll be investing emotions on what you are not even supposed to engage in. They can't hear you. They can't accept what you say. You're just wasting your time. And if you're not careful, you are going to have an enemy. And you are going to hurt yourself. The first thing is, you hurt yourself. Please, can you go to Mr. Lighton and tell him that I said you should bring the fan in my office. If you're not careful, you're going to hurt yourself. I don't know if Femi, leave that place, come to a place where there is a table. Come. I don't know if some of you have had encounters with people. Arguments, could be your husband, could be your sister, could be your mom, could even be a customer, could even be a conductor. That after that encounter, you get home and you start feeling bad yourself. You will start asking yourself that why did I should have just avoided him. And that is when you become, when they say you are a knowledgeable and intelligent person. Because knowledge is supposed to make you intelligent. That you have intelligence, you have wisdom of dealing with things in different perspectives. And then you become like, in front of people, you become like a resource person. That when issues are happening, they refer to you. Because they know that you have the ability to deal with situations. Now, the brain is interconnected. It involves multiple interconnected brain regions, especially the hippocampus, amygdala, prefrontal, and various cortical areas. I told you will get the handout too. Don't be taking me back. I have a lot of work to do today. Now, what is encoding? Now, encoding is the process transforming sensory inputs. What you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you touch, what you taste. According to psychology, the first sensory organ we develop as humans is the sense of taste. We develop sense of taste as early as 9 weeks of our mother's pregnancy. Can you imagine that? When a pregnancy is just 9 weeks, that's 2 months and a week, a child has actually developed the sense of taste right from inside through what the mother is eating. So that is why when we taste bitter leaf once, after 2 months, when we taste bitter leaf, we still remember this thing is bitter leaf. But what has memory? This year, she was still remembering me because I'm the one staying with her. Now, as I'm talking, my mother can't remember me again. If I go to her, what I do is, once I get to her, I hold her. She holds me. She kind of knows my voice because the way she behaves when she hears my voice. But when I ask her, who is talking to you? She will tell me or more. And then when I say, Momo, you don't know your child is living with you. She said, she knows that she's late now. And then when I finally say, Adenike, she will not say Adenike. The way she will say that Adenike, you will know that she does not remember. You will know that she does not remember because when she used to remember, there is a way she used to behave. When she used to remember, Especially if we are sitting beside each other, she will hug me. She will hold me close. These are tough times for me because it is looking at somebody you have known all your life for 54 years and seeing that gradually you are losing that person. You are losing. My sister was home in December, not the one that taught you, her immediate junior. Out of the 5 of us, she's the closest to my mom. They are very, very close. In fact, all of us knows. We used to say it. Yani ati mama. Then she came, she sat with her on the bed, and her name is Toyi. My mom so loved her that when she wants to call her, she will say, Oluwatoyin. My sister came, she said, who is this? She said she doesn't know. My sister said, Emini, Oluwatoyin. She didn't remember. My sister cried. She cried like a baby. That is how bad losing memory can be. Now, she doesn't even know our house. Many times she wakes up in the morning and when I go to her, she will tell me, Ewa mamu mi lo sile mi. Ewa mamu mi lo sile mi. Those nannies that take care of her, when she says those things, they translate it to be another thing. They translate it to maybe she's talking about death or something. I know she's not talking about death. So I will now tell her, you are in your house and you are in your room. And she'll be telling me, is this my room? That is how much memory, how bad memory can be. She can't remember taste of foods again. She can't remember food. If you give her something like eba, she can ask you, what is this thing you are giving me? She has lost a sense of taste, a memory of taste. I'm saying all of these things to you for you to know that there are things that happen and there are children. There might not be many, but there are some children like this. So that you don't start saying heresies. A lot of people say heresies in Nigeria. A lot of people relate a lot of things to spiritual problems. It's not spiritual. It is science. It is health. It is medical. She can wake up in the night and say she wants to go and make eba. There was a day she told the nanny that she wants to eat eba in the night around 2 a.m. The nanny was saying, Mama, it's night. She said that if you can't do it for me, let me go and do it myself. What does that teach you? She has lost the sense of time and day. She's not conscious of time again. She doesn't know the difference between morning, afternoon, and night. She doesn't know dates. She has, as of today, my mother should have about 8 million plus in her account. I'm talking about her fixed deposit. In her regular account, I don't even know how much again. Because one way or the other, one of the nannies I sent away stole her phone that we get the alert from. So, and I can't go and ask for it because it's not my account. She doesn't remember that she has a bank account again. That is a woman that for many years, what she does is any money she wants to spend for the week, she doesn't like having extra money at home. So what she does is any money she wants to spend for the week, on Monday morning, she will write a check for me or anybody that can go to the bank. She can say, go and collect 100,000 for me, go and collect 150,000 for me. I want to do this, I want to do that. Where problems started and we begin to take it very seriously, she started forgetting her signature. She can't remember her signature again. She can't remember. And then gradually, we got to this stage. So, people can actually lose all these senses in the course of their living. We used to believe, science used to believe that dementia is a sickness of old age. I am telling you, people are having dementia at 40 now. People are having dementia at 40. Now, this is loss of memory. Now, dementia is not only loss of memory, but the key one, one of the key effect that it has is memory. It eats memory. Is a disease of the brain, and it eats memory very hard. Now, attention is crucial. You must pay attention to information to encode it. If you don't pay attention to information, I told you encoding is understanding, transmitting the information in your brain that, oh, what message is this child trying to pass? And then you understand the message.
So is it possible for children to have it?
It is possible for children to have it through genetics. I just told you, that's where I was going. I just told you that now 40-year-olds have dementia. Now, a 40-year-old man is still very, very capable to impregnate the wife, to have sex, and the wife gets pregnant. But the problem that is going to happen is that the effect of what that is condition will have on the fetus, on the baby coming, because the sperm that created it already has a problem of dementia. So that child may share some of those diseases through genetics, hereditary. That's why I asked, as some of you following me online, if you notice, I posted some things this week. It is when I was preparing for this course, I was trying to do some exercise with myself. I post. That's how I do. If I want to remember some things, I post so that it stays there. I can only see it back on my page when I say some children they can't keep, they don't have the power, ability to keep information. It's not their fault. Ordinarily, children are not supposed to have this type of problems, but there is genetics. We are all 95% our parents' gene. Whatever you are is the gene of two people that came together to make you. And you can't run away from it. And genetics goes deep, even into spiritual. It's one of the things we just finished a revival this week in church. I was the interpreter for that man for the whole 1 week. It's one of the things that man hit on. How our parents' life pattern. Why didn't this boy bring this fan for me? I'm feeling hot. Please tell him to give. This is the key to my. Both spiritual problems, we inherit it. For those of us that are Christians, we need to pray a lot. Pray a lot. We need to pray some things out of our life if you want to live a good life. I don't know if I've told you the story of a woman that got married and could not have a child. She could not get pregnant for 15 years. And when she was, and they have gone to so many places, pray and everything. And when she was directed to a man of God that should pray for her, the man of God said, from nowhere, he just asked her, he just started asking about their parents, that the man and the woman and the husband, that, what about your parents? The man said his parents, maybe the father is dead, but the mother is alive. And then she asked the wife, what about your parents? She said her mother is alive. I think her father is dead too. Then from nowhere, I asked, how old is your mother? How old are you? She said she's 37 or so, going to 40. And he asked, how old is your mother? And she said, her mother is 80, maybe 86 or 87. Bring it here. Bring it. I'll plug it here. So he did the plus and minus and asked and said, you are this age and your mother is that old. How old was your mother when she gave birth to you? because the gap between the mother's age and her age that she gave was so much, was almost about 50 years, 40 something years. And she said her mother gave birth to her at 48. Your mother gave birth to you at 48. How many of you does you? Are you the last one? She said, I'm the only child.
Wow.
Your mother gave birth to you at 48 and you are the only child. That means she never had any child before you, or she had children, they died. She said no. So by the time they went deeper, they discovered that her mother also spent about 25 years waiting. She has spent 15. You see the way, that is the way gene is. That's the way gene is. The same way parents, according to the Bible, God had a covenant with Abraham. The covenant he had with Abraham went to Isaac. He said, I will bless you and to your generation like that. The same way their blessings come to us is the same way their problems come to us. Because we are in that lineage. You are in that lineage. So if you don't know some information for yourself, know some information because of your children. Because you have put them in the lineage. They are online. It's like you are lining everybody up for attack. Your parents brought you there. You are waiting for your own attack. You have also brought your children. Those ones will also bring their children. And it continues to go from generation. You can also find genetics in behavior. Behavior is also genetic. This thing is so common in America. This one I want to talk about is very, very common in America. I like watching all these crime videos. There's this crime and investigation page I used to follow on TikTok. The grandfather is in prison. The grandfather committed crime. They sentenced him to life imprisonment. The father committed crime. That one, they killed him. He was sent to prison. He was killed in prison. Then the grandson also committed crime. Oh, mother, they kill people. The grandson was now sentenced to life imprisonment and was transferred to the prison, the maximum prison where his grandfather is. So he met his grandfather in prison. That was a boy that the father was not even married when the grandfather went to prison. The father left the father as a very young boy, because according to that this thing, the grandfather said the father was 16 when he was sent to prison. So the father has not even married. It's not that the grandfather knows him. That boy has never even met that grandfather. By the time he came to this world, that grandfather was in prison. He has never seen him. He was only hearing stories of him. So eventually he went to meet the grandfather in prison. And then they started talking. They gave them the opportunity to sit down together and talk. And then he was telling the grandfather, I hope my lawyer will, I still have the opportunity to appeal. Thank you. I still have the opportunity to apply to. People are asking online, is there no lecture today? He just came in now. I'm not talking about this class. I think it's your class. So the grandfather was telling the grandfather like that he knows he has the opportunity to appeal because he can't wait to go back home to his son and his family. And then the grandfather smiled and told him that, do you know that for the first 10 years that he came to this place, that was his thoughts. He said that was his thought. The way you are thinking was the way I'm thinking. But now I've spent 40 years. That what he will advise him to do is to make up his mind to settle down to his new home. Meaning what? Meaning you will never have the opportunity to go out. And it's very true, especially blacks in America. especially blacks, because they know them for crime. So when they commit those crimes and they arrest them, they make sure that they put them, you are blocking people's view, they make sure that they put them in a place where they will never have the opportunity to come back. That is how much I told you this, for you to understand how dangerous and important gene is. So when you begin to see some patterns, in your parents' life, or you've known it, and you begin to see similar things in your own, you need to handle it with seriousness. Because if care is not taken, you will walk the same path. It goes into marriage. It goes into illness. I've taught in a class where a 3-year-old boy was using a very thick glasses, very thick one, 3-year-old. The first day they brought that boy to my class, I looked at his glasses. His eyes were small inside like this. You know those very thick glasses that their eye would be like it's running like this. I looked, I was thinking in my heart, I said, if this boy's eyes is this bad at 3, what will he used to see when he's 50? It's only 3, and the eyes are this bad. And it is this same eyes we used to navigate the world and read and everything. The father came to pick him. The same thing. A few months after that, the parents were not able to pick him, so they begged grandpa to come and pick him. The glasses of that boy was exactly the same with that of the grandfather. That was when my brain told me this thing is running in the family. So it goes as much as sickness. It's got as much as giving birth. I have seen a woman who told me before, she gave birth for 21 days after giving birth. She was still bleeding heavily. And people asked her, what is? She said that's how it used to happen to her mother. And she said it in a way like, there's nothing I can do to her. That's how it does us in our family. That is jail for you. In some families, it's dying young. In some families, it's dying young. You see obituary 37, 42. When I was worshiping at Winners Chapel, there was a man that came out when the day he clocked 50. He came out for Thanksgiving and testimony. And he said, in about maybe 4 generations of his family, is the first male that we clocked 50 years. He started counting. My grandfather died at 42. My father died at 45. My senior brother died at... So he said, after he clocked 40, he was living his life as though he was waiting for death. Because that thing happens to them between 40 and 50. That gap of 41, 42, 40, they won't clock that 50 before that thing will take them. So when he said he did not sleep, let's say today is my birthday, yesterday, he said this thing so worried him that midnight throughout till 12 a.m. he did not sleep, that he was afraid maybe that thing will come and take him in his sleep. And that's why he came out today, that he clocked 50 years. I look at him like this, I say ordinary 50 years. I come from a generation where they even reach 105. My mother's senior brother died at 92. His own mother died at 105. We have had 97, 92, 98. The same thing with my father's family. My grandmother died at 102. In fact, my father was not alive when she died. And my father didn't die young. My father died at around 75, 76. But his mother was still alive. We were the one that went to bury his mother because he's an only son. That is genetics for you. I think I've explained it explicitly. It also goes into success. in some families, there is nothing they lay their hands upon that succeed. Any business, any enterprise. So you need to watch it, those patterns. And it is happening with, why does this concern you? It is happening with children that they are bringing to your school. So that some parents will not come and drop the blame of what you did not, what is not your fault. Is this true? They are not doing well. They will never tell you that that is that boy's 7th school. Mr. Lighton was telling me of one yesterday. He said there are two in one of the schools. He does IT part-time for them. He said there are two, both of them are from same parents. One has a serious problem with dyscalculia, maths. Another one has a serious problem with dyslexia, English. So the mother came. He said he told the grandmother, because of what he had been learning here, he told the school owner to invite the mother to come. So the mother came and they told her to write something small, maybe write something about the child or something. Mr. Lighton said, if I see what this woman wrote, nobody can read it. It has no meaning. Complete. It's meaningless. It was there then. So it's very easy for you to link it. This is why I insist that school owners sees both parents. School owners sees both parents at the point of admitting a child. Insist on seeing both parents. Because there are so many things. Those children are going to live with you. If you are running a nursery and primary school, some children are going to see both parents. When you are seeing those things manifest, you will just tell yourself, So you won't be bothered. And you will also have the opportunity to introduce early intervention to them. Because in most of these things we're talking about that is coming through genetics, early intervention can save some people. Early intervention can save a lot of issues. Now, there is a scan now in the medical world now. I don't know if it has gotten to Nigeria, but I know it's already in all the Western countries. There is between 0 to 5 months, there is a scan they do for pregnant women. If that scan, MIR scan, will tell you everything that this boy, the brain, the limbs, the this. So why are they doing this? They are saving people from a lot of trauma. They will now ask you, we are advising that you abort this pregnancy. We are advising, they will not force you. So if you now decide you want to bring special needs to the world, yes, Oyibo people are like that. Some of them say they want to bring them. They will insist that they want to bring them. And I believe that some Nigerian Christians can do this thing. Because they will say, the Bible said we must not abort, we must not kill, we must not do this. So they will bring problem. All this problem at the end of the day, they will end up in the school. They will end up in the school. So let's go on. Acoustic encoding. What I mean by acoustic encoding is ACOUSTIC. ACOUSTIC and then encoding. Acoustic encoding. Sound, e.g., repeating a phone number in your head. That's acoustic encoding. How many people's phone number do you have in your head? Oh yeah, now I told you it's going to be an interactive class. Ms. Machuku, how many people's phone number do you have often? 5. Fakunle, how many phone numbers do you have in your head?
Up to 6, 7.
Okay. How many phone numbers do you have in your head? 5. How many do you have? It's close to 10. The more you know, it means your brain is okay, your brain is functioning. Vivian, how many do you have? 5. Vivian, how many do you have? 3.
Now, is it only phone number? What about account number?
You can, yes. Numbers. Now, what do you know about what do you know that they do about this phone number? When you lose your SIM, they are going to ask for another one. The MTN or those mobile companies will ask you write the relevant 3 or 4 phone numbers that are constant in your brain. That also means your integrity. That also means your brain is working well. Do you know that one of the criteria for banks to give you a loan is the number of years you have been using your SIM? Yes, it's the number of years. You have to be a very, very morally upright person to use a SIM consistently for 10 years. One of the ways of fraudulent people is they change random SIM. Because they know they've committed the crime with this one, they change it, they use another one. So changing your phone, your SIM randomly is to your own disadvantage. I think it was last year. MTN gave us maybe 10 gig or how many gig for those of us that have been using the phone for more than 10 or 20 years. Yes, and my own was 20 years. So you understand? That is how this memory thing give us interconnectivity of the world. Now, the United States just passed the law 3 or 4 days ago that anybody that is coming to their country, you must submit your social media handles. Yes, your social media handles. You are what you post. You are what you post online. You are what you post. That's why Facebook asks you what is in your mind. Is that what Facebook asks you? What is in your mind? What you post every day is what is in your mind. That is your thought process. So if they go to your page and what they see there is rubbish, you're running, you are fighting, abusing people, sending negative comments, opening breasts, doing your friend like this, they know who you are. And they will simply just tell you, we don't want this type of person in our country. I have told my sons this thing about 3 or 4 years ago. About 5 years ago, that we are going to get to a stage where our social media life will be used to judge us. Now, employers are using it. If you are an employer and you are not yet using it, let me tell you, you will gladly employ rubbish. They have certificates. It's not about certificate. They have BH. They've done NYSC. We are talking about character. If you employ character, if they are not skillful, you will train them. They will become skillful. Yes. But if you employ only skills, it will use character to destroy your business. We are talking about character. So all those, your SIM, your social media handle, everything is talking about your character. Who are you? There are PhD holders that are fools. There are PhD holders that are criminals. But they have PhD. Everybody can get a certificate. That's why I always say, and we keep saying it, that you have paid for treasurer's course does not mean you will get the certificate. Some people will not get treasure certificate. Based on only punctuality. That punctuality now, I'm taking it more serious than any other thing. Because people are abusing the advantage of we can watch online. Somebody that I know that she's here, she's on Ijebu Road here, from her house to this place, maybe 400. She will tell me, I want to watch online. Watch what online? You that they sit down in front of you, they teach you, you still failed. You want to watch online. Online will, I've told Mr. Lighton, online will only be for people that we know that they are in. If Mrs. Rodara tells me she wants to watch online, we will send the link to her alone. We will send it to the group. And I will give her that preference because I know at distance can be a challenge. But you cannot be in the condo and tell me what to watch online. We won't watch anything. You will not watch anything. What of you, go? Have you not finished your master? Is that not what is disturbing you? Don't tell me. Now, visual encoding images picturing a person's face, visual encoding, picturing a person's face. See somebody for the first time, and after 10 years or 2 years or 3 years, Mr. B, don't go to where you can see now. You can still remember who that person. There's space here. Now you put your chair beside Mrs. Alalade. These are some of the things that are used to train policemen, people in security services. Once they see a criminal, let me tell you, you can be going on the road in this Nigeria, in this Lagos, for 5 years, and police will not stop you for one day and say, stop, we want to check your car. They know criminals. I know Nigerian police have their own problem. Those on that, they are doing it because of their own selfish interest. But when police really want to work, police knows criminals. They are trained. They are trained. If they look at you like this, if you are a criminal, they will know. They will know that this person, there is something. The problem I have, and what is driving my mission, is that many of the informations teachers need to know in this country to produce children that will be world standard, that can function everywhere. Our institutions are not teaching those things at all. That is why somebody will still do beard, a whole beard though, 4 years, serve, come back, she can't teach. They do teaching practice. Who supervises them? Most of them will bribe. Oh God, this country, I don't want to talk. Let me continue with my work. Semantic encoding. Semantic encoding. Semantic encoding, meaning e.g., understanding the concept behind a definition. Understanding the concept behind a definition. Semantic encoding. The concept behind a definition. When they define something to you, you can understand it. This is generally the strongest and most durable form of encoding. Semantic encoding. Understanding the concept behind the definition. If I say define treasures, Mrs. Nwachukwu, define treasures. You say something that has value. In what area? Values can be in so many areas. In what area? Something that has value, literally. If I say define early childhood education, what is early childhood education?
It's early childhood education has to do with where we learn how to teach young children.
You didn't define it. Faculty, define early childhood education.
Early childhood education can be defined as yes, education for a particular age range of children, say from 0 to 6.
I'm going to have problem with you people. And why am I going to have problem with you? If I'm teaching you, and we have been teaching all this while, and you cannot reproduce it. These questions I'm asking you are some of the things I have seen parents walk into early schools and engage front desk officers or teachers or school owners with, and they begin to stammer. I wrote something online yesterday. I don't know if some of you saw it. I said the schools of this generation are not prepared for the parents of this generation. How many of you read it? That the schools of this generation are not prepared. See, the parents of this generation are super smart. They must be smart in fraudulent things, but they are smart. Yeah. I have seen a lady of about 26, 27 walk into a very, very sophisticated early year school and ask the school owner, please, can you define Montessori early childhood education for me? that woman has fought at that day, she would have lost the opportunity of registering 2 twin boys from a premium parent. Her husband is in the US. After she was the one that interviewed the school, it's not the school that interviewed her. She said she wants to know where she will keep her children. What is Montessori? Show me the Montessori materials you have. How do you use this? What should I expect my child to have known if they are with you by half time? Premium parents, they finished like this. She paid almost 2 million. The school fees, she paid it in one transfer. So you need to know. These are the things I say when I say the schools of this generation are not prepared for the parents of this generation. Are not prepared. You are not prepared though. Most of you are not prepared for what will hit you. You are just wishing it. And the generation that have children in nursery primary school now are between 22 to 45 years. I was even saying 45 years yesterday when I was discussing this with Mr. Lighton in my office. He was saying I should put it at 40 years. They are the ones. And who are the generation on the internet? Who are the Gen Z you are talking about? Is that not that generation? Should be one of them tried to hack my account this morning. They are the people you want to deal with and you don't have information. People that are 24/7 online. Some of them are not teachers. They don't work in Montessori schools. They have read about Montessori so much online, they know more than you. And you call yourself the professional and they are coming to meet you and you don't have the information. The most expensive thing in life is information. That's why the Bible says this book of the law must not depart from you. You must meditate in it day and night. When the Bible said that, it is information it's talking about. It's not the Bible. It's the information inside the Bible that will save your life and will give you wisdom. The same thing with psychology. This I'm teaching you is psychology of child psychology is what I'm teaching you this morning. This memory is child psychology, and that's what I'll be teaching you throughout today. And I have 3 topics. So sit down well. Early childhood education is the education of children from 0 to 6 years with a specific method, because there are methods and there are theories. There is EYFS, there is Montessori, there is Waldorf, there is Reggio Emilia. So with specific information, then you mention all those areas in any of these areas. And these informations are directed towards teaching them about cognition, practical life, activities of daily living, understanding the concept of numbers and letters, emotional and social behavior. That is what early childhood education is. It's as easy as this. That the children must be grounded in all of these areas I'm talking about, preparing them for real school, because it's called preschool. Early childhood education is called preschool. That is what comes before school. Schools actually start from primary 1. That is school. So you must also add that it is to prepare them for real school and the future. Now, I've talked about semantic. Semantic is the strongest, is generally the strongest and most durable form of encoding. Then I'm going to talk about initial storage. Encoded information first enters the sensory register. Encoded information first enters the sensory register. Ultra short-term sensory memory. Ultra short-term sensory memory. Now, what do you want me to read again?
Yes.
Initial storage. Encoded information first enters the sensory register. When the information first hits you, it first enters your sensory register. That it registers in your brain that you have seen this thing, and that is your short term. After it lives with you for some time, it will now it will be passed into your long term memory. It's like our computer storage, the way you store some files. Then when you need them, you go and look for them on your laptop, and then it moves primarily into short-term memory. Now, one of the things dementia has done to my mother now is that she doesn't have short-term memory again. It's so bad that dementia patients, she's eating. This is food in front of her. My mother will be telling you, I'm hungry. She's eating, there's bread in her hand. Or she's taking ogi. Why she's eating that? She's saying, Ebin Pami. So initially, when this untrained, these nannies we take are untrained. I'm the one that now train them. When this untrained nanny comes, anytime she says Ebin Pami, they'll come and meet me. Mama says she's hungry. Mama says she's hungry. When I look at the time, she had breakfast at 8. At 10:30, she took fruit. At 12, Mama said Ebin Pami. At 2:30, I said, She can't be eating like that. Because she's not even very mobile. If she's eating like that, you keep turning her with food like that, she's going to have a problem. Because she's not doing enough exercise for it to digest. Not knowing it is the effect of dementia. They don't have short-term memory. My mom does not have any short-term memory again. Nothing. If you tell her, I'm going out to, because when you need to instruct her, you need to tell her some things. Maybe the nanny is coming downstairs to do something. I say, Mama, I want to go downstairs. Don't stand up from your seat. She will not only stand up. She will stand up and remove all her clothes. Yes. The nanny will enter and she will meet her naked. Somebody that has all her clothes on, she will meet her naked. Say, Mama, Shibi, I told you not to stand up. She will say, let's know what we'll be telling ourselves. Let's mind the way we'll be talking to ourselves. But let me tell you one thing that beat all my imagination. She's an Anglican. My mother has been an Anglican from birth. Any hymn in the Anglican book, any hymn, the moment you start it, my mother will finish it for you. If you make a mistake in the step, if you make a mistake in the step, she will correct you. She will tell you, no, it's not that one. Yes, now. She sings. Anytime I want her to be happy, I'm less busy. I just go and sit down with her. Because that's the way she trained us. Most of us, myself and all my sisters, we know all the hymns. So I just sit down with her and we will start singing. We can sing for 3 hours. She will not miss a word. This is somebody that cannot remember her children again. So you see how dangerous the brain is. The brain brought her long-term memory back and took her short-term memory away. She can't remember her children. She can't remember her house. But she remembers her father. Her father's name. Her father that died 30 years ago. She will tell you all his name. She will tell you all her mother's name. Those of you that you are Yoruba, you know what you call Oriki. I think it's eulogy. If you are saying a eulogy, if you say it wrongly, my mother will correct you. She will tell you it's not like that. It's just wrong. That is memory. It is new things that she does not remember. That is dementia. So I say this because we are talking about storage. Now, have you wrote initial storage? Yes. Encoded information first enters the sensory register, alters short sensory memory, and then moves primarily into short-term memory. Now, number 2, everything I've said to you is number 1. Number 2, storage. What is storage? Is the process of maintaining encoded information over time. That information is still with you over time. It's like your husband, when you met him, before you marry, you asked him. It is the process of maintaining encoded information over time. Even if it's 50 years, you still remember. It's like a man told you when you want to marry him that I don't have children. No. I've never married before. After 20 years or 25 years of marriage, they just bring one 19-year-old boy from somewhere. Say, I don't know how to tell you, it's your child. But you told me you don't have. No, I did not say so. I did not say so. You can weep. You know women now. You can even cry that you. That day you were putting on a black t-shirt and jeans that were sitting inside Mr. Big. That you told me you have never married. You don't have a child. You have a 19-year-old child somewhere. That is maintaining information. No matter how long, especially things that are dear to us. How many of us have children here? How many of you have given birth? You have children. Can you ever forget the day you gave birth to your first child? The process of the labor, when it started, how you got to hospital, and what nurse did to you. If I ask you to be saying it now, you will tell everything. And the person, Mrs. What is your first child? 34. So 34 year information. How you gave birth to her? If I ask you now, you can tell me. You see? You see what maintaining long-term memory is? Because it is dear to your heart, especially information that involves people that you love or that caused you pain. If you have ever had a car accident, such information you retain it. The day I had that accident for the first time, it will be there. Such information don't leave us because of how important it is to us. Now, how it works. Information moves through different storage systems with varying capacities and duration. It moves through different storage systems with varying capacities and duration. Mr. Bido, please buy me bottled water. Sensory memory. Cold. Information moves through different storage systems with varying capacities and durations. That is, capacity is how large they are and the time. How large the information is and the time. The first time your husband beat you. It's a very painful experience. It caused you a lot of trauma, but you still stored it. Is that not the type of information we should wish to forget? That when they ask you, you never remember by it again. Now, sensory memory. Sensory memory. Sensory memory. Hold vast amount of sensory information for a very brief period. Sensory memory holds vast amount of sensory information for a very brief period. It doesn't stay long.
Is it for a brief?
Sensory memory holds vast amount of sensory info for a very brief period. Somebody said the reason why women give birth again and again and again is because you forget the pain. And of a truth, if you don't forget the pain, I don't think that thing is what anybody should do more than once. My first pregnancy was my worst experience, my worst labor experience. It was my worst. Maybe because it was the first time, maybe because it was a girl. For my boys, it was not like that. Having my boys was very easy. I gave birth to my boys without assistance. I push and they come out. But my daughter, they caught me everywhere. Aside from the long hours of labor, I labored for like 10 hours. From today till tomorrow, 11 p.m., 12 a.m. before I now give birth to her. Of course, if such information, as painful and as large as it is, if it is not a sensory memory, should I have another child? That is the stage that you just say, oh yeah, it's enough. I still had 3 till I had the one that pushed me to CS before my brain came to work that, oh yeah, stop. So sensory informations are informations like sex. They are informations like kata, you sneeze. They are informations like you weep. They are sensory. They don't last long. They last for like milliseconds to a few seconds. Act as a filter. This is the reason why you can see a man and a woman that just finished having sex and they start beating themselves. Sure, when you see them, when you hear this, you will not tell them, is this all madness? Are you people not the one that entered room now? You were laughing, we were hearing. Before you know, you are hearing gim. Because it is a sensory information. It doesn't last long. That is why some people can go into prostitution. They delete those men from their heart immediately. The moment you finish, they don't see you again. Some people are like that. And that is also the reason why some of us cannot go into prostitution. Some women lose their husband at a very young age through death, and they remained unmarried for life. Not because they don't have people to marry them. I have seen one of them before. She said she's not into any covenant with her husband or anything. That, in fact, if she thinks of the stupid things he used to do to her when he was alive, it's enough for her to forget him. But the problem she has is she cannot imagine another man having sex with her. She said she can't imagine it. Her husband is the only person she knew, and he was the only one that had sex with her till he died. Now, how will she now go and share that type of thing with another man again? That's the problem she has. That anytime she looks at it, she'll be asking herself, I will naked myself for another man. And she remained unmarried. So, but God created us in different ways. Some people can take their husband to the cemetery and come back home and have sex with another one. That's human being for you. They move on with your life as if nothing happened. That's human beings for you. And unfortunately, men don't have the same sensory feelings like us. No, men don't have the same. That is why it is easy. A man lost his wife in January. June, he has married. They will even, do you know, people even be telling you why that man should marry quick. He's a man, no, man cannot wait. In CAC, there are people carried it into church. In CAC, you cannot be ordained as a pastor that wear collar if you are not married. They won't ordain you. Although they have some moral explanations to it, I think in most churches, even in Winners Chapel, you won't be ordained as a pastor if you are not married. No. And their own is from a moral perspective. That when you are not married and you are put in this type of position, women will start giving you problems. If a CST pastor loses his wife, the minimum he will wait to remarry, I think it's 1 year, 1.5 years. That's if he's already an ordained pastor and he loses his wife, maybe through sickness or anything, his wife died. Have you already married in less than a year now? As old as he is. Thank you. They were already in their 70s now when those things happen. Look how fast they married. It is because women will start setting themselves, and before it becomes a scandal, marry. They will tell them, go and marry. You can't continue like this. Except you too, you want to start engaging in unclean things, go and marry. The moment they see that you are with somebody, everybody will relax. Look at Itwa, Igodalo, Ibidu's husband. Last year he said he doesn't have any love in his heart for any woman again. This year, Itwa have said, but we are humans.
Yes. 5 years after.
He even tried. No, he tried. But initially, he did as if he was not going to marry.
Yeah.
You understand? And that thing is not only him. You see that he tried, he said, people have started talking to him. People have, those that have seen you and close to him have started telling him, you will put yourself in trouble. Go and marry. Now, he told information. Where did I stop? Few seconds or milliseconds. Act as a filter. It acts as a filter in our brain. It acts as a filter. Sensory memory acts as a filter in our brain. Only attended information moves forward. Only attended information moves forward. Short-term memory. STM. Put STM in brackets. Short-term memory. STM in brackets. Duration. Holds information for seconds to minutes. Holds information for seconds to minutes. Typically 15 to 30 seconds without rehearsal. Typically 15 to 30 seconds without rehearsal. The next one is capacity. The next one is capacity. Okay. Holds information for seconds to minutes. Typically 15 to 30 seconds without rehearsal. As in 15 to 30 seconds, that information can go away. Capacity, very limited. Capacity that the brain can hold, very, very limited. Morning. Famously described as 7 plus 2 items, like digits of a phone number. It's like a digit of a phone number. Rehearsal. Did you get? Have you finished writing what I said? Described as 7 plus 2 items, like digits of a phone number. As I asked you, how many phone numbers do you know? Can you recall? And then rehearsal. Repeating information mentally helps maintain it in STM. Repeating information mentally helps maintain it in STM. That is why in education they say previous knowledge. You bring back previous knowledge as an example before you bring in the new concepts. You are, when you do that, what? Repeating information mentally helps maintain it in STM, in short-term memory, STM. That is why there is something we call previous knowledge in education. That when you want to bring in a new concept, you have to bring in the previous knowledge so that the children, they will be able to refresh it. The previous knowledge, you believe it should be in their short-term memory because you taught them recently. But the problem we have, most of us in schools, is that even those ones you taught them recently, some of them can't recollect again. Why? Why do you think that happens? There are so many reasons why it happened. I want you to talk. There are so many reasons why children forget short-term memory, previous knowledge, what you taught them recently. They can't recall it when you want to introduce a new concept. Raise up your hand to answer my question. Yes?
Because the teaching was not properly done.
Because the teaching was not properly done, that could be a reason. Yes?
It was taught in abstract. There was nothing to make the child remember.
Possibility that it was taught in abstract. Yes?
Some of them take time to assimilate.
Some of them take time to assimilate, to get the information. Yes?
That's when we don't revisit.
You need to revisit. I said that. I said, why is it that some of them, when you revisit it, some of them can't bring it back?
I don't go back to study.
They didn't go back to study. Yes? Any other person? Maybe their mind was not in the class when you were saying it.
Some might be having a challenge at the time.
Some might be having a challenge. I've heard all of these things. Do you know the reason why all of these things you have said happens? It's because teachers don't know the children they are teaching. Mrs. Drodola said something. He said maybe the way it was taught. Mrs. Abido said something. He said maybe it was taught in abstract. There were no hands-on activities. Somebody said maybe he had a health challenge. Another person said maybe the child was not concentrating in class. All of these things put together is because teachers don't take their time to know the children they are teaching. Now, if you know that you have a kinesthetic learner in your class, what you said is the typical of a kinesthetic learner. Learners that, if they don't see things, do things with their hand, they can't remember. You know you have a kinesthetic learner in your class. You have a topic to teach, but you didn't plan for any practical. Is it the child's fault? Maybe it was not taught well. Is it the child's fault? Maybe that one that stood up said maybe the child was sick. Is it the child's fault? You, the teacher, must have seen that child that day that this one is not feeling well. So it's either you repeat it for that particular child alone the next day when he feels better, or you revisit the topic. He or she, their mind is not there. Mrs. Momo, raise up your head. Raise up your head. Their mind is not there. Distraction. It is the job of the teacher to remove the distractions in the class or reduce it so that the child can get information. So you see, everything you have said, it is the fault of the teacher. That is why Montessori has a topic that said the role of the adult in the environment of the child. If you, the teacher, played your role well in the environment of the child, everything you have said must have been taken care of before you teach. Your role, the role of the adult in the environment of the child. One of the best topics I like taking in Montessori is the environment. I still posted something yesterday on the environment. I said, I hope you people know that the environment you expose your children to is more powerful than you. The environment is more powerful than parents. Because the environment are legions of things. And it could go on for years. And our environment, the things we hear. Okay, somebody, this morning, me and Mr. Lighton, we were watching something on the TV in my office before I came to class. A man was, this Nigerian movie, a man was proposing to a woman, and he just brought out a ring in his pocket and stood and wanted to give her, and the lady said, you can't kneel down. How can you just stand and propose? Then Mr. Lighton was asking me, he said, who brought this idea of this kneeling down? It is social media. It is social media. That is one of the negative effects of social media. What shapes who you are the things you hear, the things you read, the things you see, the things you watch. So people have over time watched proposal, people leading down, so it has become a norm in their brain. It was not in my generation. Nobody even proposed to me. She didn't propose to me. They did not propose to me. We were doing the relationship. One day we say, Shani married you. Our own proposal is mobile on that day. I want to know your parents. You know my parents, I know your parents. They ask themselves, when marriage have come, we are married, put up, everybody go to the house. Which one is the carry flower, proposal, lie down, bend down? I've been teasing my sons. I said, I'm waiting for the day you will kneel down. Ayo, if your didn't tell me anything, Ayo said, I'm still having a problem with that thing in my brain. I'm still having a problem. So it is the things we are seeing that makes who we are. What makes a child is the environment and the adults in the life of the child. the environment and the adults. The spoken and unspoken curriculum. There is a written curriculum, there is a spoken curriculum, there is a null curriculum. I'm not going to curriculum today, don't take me there. Now, I've talked about capacity. Have I thought about capacity?
Yes.
Repeating information mentally helps maintain it in the STM. Function. Acts as a temporary holding buffer. B-U-F-F-E-R. Acts as a temporary holding buffer for conscious thoughts and immediate tasks. For conscious thoughts, function acts as a temporary holding buffer for conscious thoughts and immediate task. Conscious thoughts and immediate task. Working memory. A more active and contemporary concept. A more active and contemporary context. Often overlapping short-term memory. The working memory is a more active and contemporary concept, often overlapping short-term memory. It overlaps your short-term memory. It's a working memory. Working memory is like hunger. Whether anybody reminds you or not, when it's time for you to eat, you remember that it's time for you to eat. That's a working memory. That's a working memory. You don't need to keep it in your short-term memory. Whether you want to remember or not, your body will remind you. It's like dressing up. How many of us have forgotten to dress up and go out before? You are going out. You just stand up from your room with your pants and a bra when you are not one mad woman on Facebook and with your husband doing rubbish. They have family. You just come out. They say, where are you going? You say, I'm going out. And you did not dress. They need to dress. Those are working memories. They are working memories. Like waking up and taking your bath. They are working memories. You don't even need to be told. Or brush your teeth. Or lock your door in the night when you are going to sleep. Or comb your hair. Or remember that you want to make your hair. These are working memories. So they supersede the short-term memories.
The working
memory.
W-R-K.
Yes. W-R-K. W-O-R-K. Working memory. Yes. Work. Yes. It refers to mental workspace. It refers to mental workspace used to actively hold and manipulate information. It refers to the mental workspace used to actively hold and manipulate information needed for complex cognitive. It refers to the mental workspace used to actively hold and manipulate information needed for complex cognitive tasks. Do you know that mad people have working memory? Mad people who are insane, that's mad people on the road, go. Why do they run when they want to cross the road? How many mad people have you had that a car killed? When they are on the road, they know that a car is coming. Their working memory is conscious. They wash their clothes. Some of them will open themselves naked on the street and be bathing. It might not be every time, but the day their mind goes to it, their working memory, they defecate now. They poo because they eat. That means that is the brain, the complexity of the brain. I'm telling you that some part of the brain can be damaged while some will be working. So you need to be conscious of it. A woman woke up one day and the husband told her he doesn't know her. Yes. Serious fight. I don't know you. Who are you? What are you doing here? Meanwhile, this man has been showing signs that instead of the wife to think in different perspectives and begin to reason, I think something is beginning to happen. raise an alarm, she was fighting him. He will come close from work, he will roam about. He's not going out with any woman. He's not going to any. He can close from work in Yanopaja and decide to go and look for his sister that he has not seen 10 years in Agege. He will go there. He will get there, they will say the woman has packed away from the house, then he will be coming back. Then the wife will ask him, why are you late? Why are you just coming? What's your business with how I walk? Am I not the one who hold my leg? And this becomes constant, and you have still not raised an alarm that there's something wrong. Until it got to a very degenerative state that he woke up one day and said, who are you? She still did not raise alarm. She was still arguing. That's the trick you want to use to bring another person home. Work for Moti It was when family got involved and they saw the way he was saying things that they begin to say, there is something wrong. Something is wrong. And I tell you, the number of mentally unstable people in the psychiatric hospitals, naturally, that mental insanity happened to, like malaria happened to us, like high blood pressure happened to us, they are more than drug-related cases. I work with psychiatrists and psychologists. I have many of them I can get information from. My very best friend, Foluke Ogundele, she's a chief consultant at Ataro. There was a day I was trying to create some topics, work on some of my topics, and I called her, I asked her, I said, Dr. Ogundele, in the hospital there, between drug-related cases that led to insanity, psychosis, and the ones that it naturally happened to, which is greater? She told me that it's the natural. She told me it's the natural. So mental insanity is a sickness. All those they shot him out, they do this. You are learning now to take them away. Because if you are still reasoning in that perspective, you will not be able to do early intervention. Instead of you to go to the hospital, you'll be going to pastor. Pastor that doesn't even know what he's doing himself. There are issues you need to take to the hospital. Thank God I have a pastor who is educated and knowledgeable. If you bring any case to my pastor, once his health, he will tell you, I'm going to pray for you now. I will pray for you. But please, after leaving this place, go to the hospital. I'm not a doctor. We will continue praying for you, but go to the hospital. There's many things that is happening that is only science that has explanation to it. Now, it refers to the mental workspace. It refers to the mental workspace used you are reading complex cognitive tasks. Okay, e.g. mental maths. E.g. mental maths. Math drills. That's what we call math drills. Mental maths. Comma. Following directions. Reasoning. Full stop. Reasoning. Full stop. Think of it as STM plus, mental processing. Mental processing. This note is long. That's why I said don't write. Take point. It's 9 pages. Oh. This note is long. I told you from the beginning. I said take points. You will get the handout today. Now, long-term memory, LTM. You can just take points so that when you get the handout, you just know what you should read. LTM, long-term memory. Long-term memory. Duration, potentially permanent. Minute, it takes from minutes to decades. From minutes to decades. Just like the one I gave you the example, my mother and the hymns. She has been singing those hymns since she was a child. By next year, she would have been alive for 9 decades. She's going to be 90. And the information still stays. That's the power of long-term memory. The information still stayed. And if she didn't have dementia, remember, it's not all old people that have dementia.
Yeah.
So those that don't have dementia can even retain information more than that.
Yes.
They can even retain information more than that. Look at Wole Soyinka. Wole Soyinka and my mother are the same age. They are the same year. He was 90. He was 89 this year too. And Obasanjo is 89 too. They are contemporaries. Their memories are still okay. If Obasanjo's memory is not okay, we'll be inviting him to other places he's going. Oh, duration, potentially permanent. It can run from minutes to decades. Capacity, vast and essentially unlimited. That's the duration. The duration, I told you, potentially permanent. It can run from minutes to decades. And then capacity, vast and essentially unlimited. Essentially unlimited. It can go on for as long as you live. Do you know that science also proved that the last part of the body to die when a person dies naturally is the brain? That is why it is dangerous when people are unconscious or they are in coma that you start saying negative things around them. They might not be able to see you, but they are hearing. And then you'll be in very big trouble if they make it round and come back. They will tell you what you said. They will tell you what you said. I have a son that has that type of brain. Ayo will be sleeping. My first son, he will be sleeping. He will be sleeping. He will be snoring. You will hear snore. When Ayo wakes up, he will come. He will tell you, where was Baby going that time that you tell her that she should come back quick? Where is the jollof rice you cooked? And I am sure that as at the time those things were happening, he was sleeping. When I ask him, how did you know? He tell you, as I'm saying, I'm hearing everything you people are saying. I have tested him many times. He was really sleeping because he snores. How I know that Ayo is in deep sleep is he snores. When he's deeply asleep, you will start hearing sound. So he will be in that state and will be doing some things and talking, and he will wake up and will tell me everything. I heard what you said. I heard when you said Ola should go and grind pepper. So for somebody like that has that type of brain, I don't have that type of brain. If I sleep deep, I'm asleep. It's whatever you tell me when I wake up. But for somebody that have that type of brain, I'm not joking now. Please, we need to be serious. Okay. So for somebody that have that type of brain, if they have a head injury, their long-term memory will be there. It will be there. Do you know people become a vegetable? When you say people become a vegetable, that the person is brain dead. Some people can be brain dead. They are alive. All their other features are working, but the brain is not active again. So, functions, thoughts, and knowledge. You have written capacity, vast and essentially unlimited. Function, thoughts and knowledge, experiences, skills, and concepts. Thoughts and knowledge, experiences, skills, and concepts. For those of us that have been married for long years, I'm talking like, okay, I want to talk about myself, Mrs. Durodola, Mrs. Nwachukwu. I know the three of us are in our 50s. After you started living on your own, whether you started living on your own before you got married, or you started living on your own when you now became married, how many times has your mother come back to teach you how to cook, how to make amala, how to make a vegetable, how to kewedu? How many times? Where did you keep the memory? You're supposed to forget now that when you want to cook okra, you should put down. That is the power of long-term memory. It stays there. If your daughter gives birth today, You are going to bathe the baby. When was the last time you bathed a baby? Uh-huh. How old is your last born? 21. And if your daughter gives birth today, you are going to. Are you going to ask people how to bathe a baby before you bathe the baby? That's the power of long-term memory. It will come back. When you need it, it will come back. And you make use of it. It will recall. What happens for you to be able to do that thing again after so many years is your power of recall. Unfortunately, some people cannot recall. There are people that cannot recall, and that includes children. That includes children. Because essentially, the reason why we are saying this is because of children. It includes children. Now, I'm going to stop at page 5. Because I told you we have 3 topics to take care of. I'm going to stop at page 5 and then we'll go to the next topic. I talked about function last, Abby. Yes. Organization. Information is taught associatively. Information, that means information is segmented in the brain. There is the information for love and romance. There is the information for love and romance. There is the information for pain. There is the information for pain. There is the information for emotions. There is the information from your job. That the moment you put on your laptop like this, you see the Excel sheet. You know, this is talking about school fees and all of these things. There is the information for love. Whether you know a man before or you don't know him, you are going on the way. This has happened to me many times when I'm driving, especially when I'm alone in traffic. You will just see a man in within. He would start making face for you. Yes, now you start making. They do that now. Some men do it. I have even seen the one that came beside me and said, "How far, baby?" You are able to decode that information that this one is showing a romantic interest because there is information for love. What I want to tell you is that some people cannot understand that information. They lack emotions. They know, but they can't express it. They know. And he was trying to talk to me, but I don't know what it means. When you even see their face, they have an expressionless face. They have an expressionless face. You can't read happiness, you can't read sadness, you can't read joy, you don't know how to express. They can never laugh. There's a woman in this my street. When you get to that our gate, you turn this way. Instead of going to the road, you turn this way. She turn this way, she sells pepper. She's there. She lost her husband about 3 or 4 years ago. Her first son and my first son, they are friends. There was one day my son was talking about the things that they've been going through with the children and everything. And I told him, I said, one thing I understand about that woman is that she's really is completely emotionless. I've known that woman for about 20 years. I can never mention any day I see her smile. She doesn't smile, she doesn't laugh. Her face is always expressionless. Like you go to somebody and every time you see her face is like this. Even if you are cracking joke, you are smiling at her. She will greet you. If you want to buy something from her, you will greet you. You are really a customer. She will serve to you. She will talk to you, but it is long years of trauma. Long years of trauma. From her childhood, she has been going from one trauma to the other, from one trauma to the other. She has gone to a point where she does not recognize happiness again. Nothing in her. You see, what is in you is what reflects. People talk and you smile. You want to greet people and you smile. It is from you. Even you that you say, I always smile. There are days when some things will happen, you will not smile. People people who are close to you, people who know you, the moment they see your face, the first thing they ask you, what is wrong? You don't used to look like this. What is wrong? So now imagine that type of thing that made you to be emotionless for one day like that, continue to recall in your life. That's what, that when you see she's going through trauma, that is what causes trauma. And some people have been so traumatized in their life, they have got to a stage where they've lost everything of joy in their life. They cannot sit down and remember a day of joy. No single day. No single day. They can't recall any single day that, oh, my wedding day, that day. The day I give birth to my child, that day. Nothing. The Bible says, there's a place in the Bible said, he said, I like it in Yoruba language, say, that the head of a person was bowed for nothing. Those are the type of people the Bible is talking about, that they bend down their head for nothing. There is no money or ayeye. They have age, but they don't have any day of joy. Nothing is happy. They've been going from one trauma to the other. I watched a girl this morning on Facebook. She's a very beautiful girl, 18. They saw her on the road. Security people, not in Lagos, in the east, security people saw her on the road around 2 a.m. with her traveling bag. You saw that one red, that the aunt sent her away. She was living with the mother and the father. The mother she said she doesn't know anything about her mother. The mother married another woman, stepmother. The stepmother said she doesn't like her, so the father told her to go to his senior sister in the east and be going to stay there. Now the senior sister in the east is another psychological problem. She sent her out of the house at 2 a.m. Why? Because she's doing WAEC. She has finished WAEC. She's doing NECO now. She needs some money to do their food and nutrition experiment. She asked the aunt throw stone for her. Her friend now asked the parents to pay for her. The parents now pay for her. The auntie now got to know that parent paid for her. The auntie now went to arrest that parent with police. When they now sorted the police issue, she now came back home. She now drove her out at 2 a.m. as she should leave her house. Very pretty girl. They asked her, how old are you? She's 18. I was cooking in the kitchen today when I was watching it. I was asking myself, I said, but if this 18-year-old now goes to prostitution now, people will blame her. That is the type of trauma I'm talking about. They said, where is your mother? That man said, what of your mother? I said, I don't know anything about her. 18, at 18, look at the level of trauma she has gone through. If care is not taken, if grace does not speak to her, she will end up in the hand of a man that will increase the trauma. These are the type of people I'm talking about. So they don't have emotion, they don't have. Some of these children I'm talking about, this type of children are living with their parents at home. Some parents are traumatizing their children. Some parents are not playing the role they should play in their children's life. I have seen a parent look at the daughter and said, I regret the day I have you. So these are the cases of trauma. I'm going to stop very soon. I will talk about organization. Organization, information is stored associatively via networks of meaning, context, emotion. The keys include explicit declarative memory. Via networks of meaning, context, emotion. Key types include explicit declarative memory. Explicit declarative memory. Conscious recall of facts and events. Conscious recall of facts and events. The lecturer that made me fall in love with special needs education, Mr. Olajide, was my lecturer at the College of Education when I was at the College of Education. I don't know whether that man is dead or alive. The only thing I know is that one lecture, just one lecture, he took us in special needs education. That was all. That was all. The way he presented that lecture, that was all. I fell in love with special needs education immediately. I said, no, I must know this thing. So facts, the way we relate facts, conscious recall of facts and events. Conscious recall of facts and events. It is a conscious recall of fact and event. That's why you can tell me that your daughter that is 30-something year old, you can tell me how you went into labor, how the labor went, how you gave birth, which nurse was there, which doctor was there. That's a conscious recall of facts and events without adding anything to it. I can remember. I want to see where I will stop. Okay, I will stop at the end of this. What is the time? 12:05. Okay, let me quickly rush. I want to finish this page too. We know that we are starting from page 3 the next time. I've talked about semantic memory, general knowledge, events, times, places, emotions. Events, time, places, emotions. No. Semantic memory, general knowledge, fact, concept, meanings. Semantic memory, general knowledge, fact, concepts, and meanings. And meaning. Episodic memory, episodes. Episodic memory, personal experiences. Episodic memory, personal experiences. You know those type of stories we tell ourselves. He started on Friday. Oh. He did this, he did that, he did that. I even thought it ascended. That's how we woke up on Saturday morning. Two man came again. Episode. From one episode to another. That's episodic memories. Personal experiences, events, time, places, and emotions. Events, times, places, and emotions. Implicit, non-declarative memory. Implicit, non-declarative memory. Unconscious memory, influencing behavior. Unconscious memory, influencing behavior.
Implicit what?
Implicit slash non-declarative memory. Implicit slash non-declarative memory. Unconscious memory influencing behavior. Unconscious memory influencing behavior. Procedural memory. Procedural memory. Procedural. Procedural. Procedural memory. Skills and habits. Skills and habits. You have the habit of eating chewing gum. It's in your procedural memory. Even if you don't see chewing gum from anywhere, you can just say, I want to eat chewing gum. No, my own never enter that one. That one not go another lane. But I know myself that I can just be sitting down and maybe, especially when I want to read, I want to do something for a long time. I like taking chewing gum. So I can just stand up and say, I want to get chewing gum. That is procedural memory. Riding a bike, typing, singing, those are procedural memories. Habits. Priming, exposure to a stimulus influence. Priming, exposure to a stimulus influence.
Is it continuation, ma'am?
No, it's another one now, another point. Priming. Exposure to a stimulus influence. Response to a later stimulus. Like substance taking. Like drug. Priming. Exposure to a stimulus influence. Stimulus influences. Response to a later stimulus. Response to a later stimulus. Classical conditioning. That's the last one on this topic. Classical conditioning. Learned associations. Learned associations. You learn to associate with such people. You learn to associate with people who gossip. You learn to associate with people who drink. You learn to associate with people who fornicate. You learn to associate with people who go to church every time. Learned association. You didn't develop it on your own, but because there are some people doing it around you, you started imitating them. Children are very fond of that, especially teenagers. Teenagers are always in that class of conditioning. So let's take a break for 10 minutes. And then when we take that break, please, number one, you are going to take the... Let's move these tables like this. As in, let's sit like this. Let's leave space in the middle. In the middle. I'm going to put a rug in the middle. I'm going to put some children there. We are going to do practical observation and assessments. Now, this next one is observation and assessment. Please, for this one, memory, remind me that we stopped at
Classical
conditioning. That's point 2. We are going to continue from 3 when we are going to go back. Can somebody please call me Mr. Lighton? I need him to cut this video and then we'll start another one. When you are finished writing, please move your chairs. Let your chairs go like this. So you put your tables in front of you. Just leave this by table. Leave this by table.